This one simple shift is going to change everything for you. Hello and welcome to the Warrior King podcast. My name is Michael Riggs. I'm a full-time author, artist, and entrepreneur here to assist you on your journey to unlocking masculinity, manliness, and the warrior spirit within, and overall leveling up your life. And in this case, reprogramming your mind for greatness. Alright, so you probably found this video or this podcast episode because you're just super lucky. I'm just kidding. You probably found it because you want to level up your life in some way. And you're in the right place because that's what we do here on the Warrior King podcast. We inspire men, we encourage men, we empower men to level up every aspect of their lives, pursue their purpose, pursue success. And yeah, super awesome to have you here. Glad that you found this because today we have a really awesome topic. It's reprogramming your mind for greatness. And this is one of the crucial steps to pursuing your purpose or pursuing success in this life or leveling up your life at all. So today we're going to be addressing the topics of paradigms and subconscious limiting beliefs, and also shifting your identity into the new you, the better you, the leveled up you, and having confidence in that. So if leveling up your life as a man and pursuing greatness in your life is something that you're interested in, something that you're all about, definitely subscribe to this channel or to this podcast so you don't miss any of our upcoming and future episodes. And let's dive right into it. So what are paradigms and subconscious limiting beliefs? Subconscious limiting beliefs are beliefs that we have in the back of our minds that we might not even be totally aware of. They're beliefs that hold us back in our lives. Now, when a subconscious limiting belief becomes a paradigm, that is a solid belief in your mind. It's just a part of your reality. The paradigm is your actual belief about the world and the way that you approach life and approach situations and even approach your success or your path in life. And these subconscious limiting beliefs are programmed into us over time through past experiences, circumstances, things people have told us, things that embarrassed us even. They form into these paradigms that hold us back in our lives. And they have the power to hold us back from doing the things that we otherwise would just go for in life if we didn't have these subconscious limiting beliefs. And these can be really simple things, like when you were in middle school, someone said, the way that you smile looks goofy, so now you smile a certain way, or you hold back from smiling. Maybe one day you were feeling really confident and you were really feeling yourself, and somebody said, wow, you're a cocky douchebag. And then ever since then, you've decided to just be a little wimpy boy and hold back from your confidence because you don't want to be perceived as a cocky douchebag. And then they can get even more major, and they can be things that hold us back from pursuing our purpose or pursuing success and reserving ourselves. I mean, there are paradigms that can be very damaging, especially when you think about going for something or pursuing your purpose in this life. These things will keep you reserved and held back from doing that. And today we're going to talk about reprogramming these subconscious beliefs, these limiting beliefs, and shifting these paradigms. Now, like I said, these things are programmed into us over time, for a long time, through past experiences. Let's say that you decided to be a coach like this, and you started a channel, but you had 10 channels before that didn't do very well. And the perception of your past is, if I start a channel, it's just going to get no views. People just don't like my personality. People don't like the content that I make. You see how it's like based on a past event or a past experience that became a solid paradigm, is just, I'm not good at content creation or social media. So that's just one of the multitude of examples that I could give of a subconscious limiting belief. Maybe somebody told you when you were younger that you weren't smart, so you didn't pursue the path that you would have liked to pursue, which could have been like a doctor and whatever. It's like, I'm just not smart. I'll never be that. And you'll see evidence of this. You'll look at children whose parents were very encouraging to them and told them that they were brilliant. They saw that they had a talent. Let's say that they wanted to play guitar and their parents bought them the most expensive guitar and just really nurtured their spirit. They told them that they were smart. They told them, you're brilliant, you're going to get straight A's. And these kids end up excelling in everything that they do because they believe in themselves. Their paradigm, their subconscious belief is that they're brilliant, that they're maybe, unfortunately, they think that they're better than everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why also on the opposite side of that, you'll see that some kids have been told that they're not smart, that they have a learning disability, that they have ADHD maybe, or they're told that they're incapable of doing the things that they want to do or that they're interested in. And I know you might think, what parent would do that? But to be honest with you, I had people my entire life when I was younger tell me, one, that I wasn't smart, two, that the things that I was interested in, there was no market for that. If I pursued a talent or I played music when I was younger, and people would tell me like, that's not going to work out. You should have something to fall back on. Make sure that you do something else. So it does happen. And I grew up my entire life thinking that I wasn't smart. and I held myself back from doing things that I was really interested in doing because of this subconscious limiting belief that I'm just not smart, I'm learning disabled, there's something wrong with me. And it wasn't until I was 30 years old that I took a test and found out that I have a genius level IQ. I'm not going to give you the number because I don't want to end up locked up in a lab somewhere having experiments run on me. I'm just kidding, the number isn't that high, but I found out that I was on the genius scale of the IQ, and my entire life I was told that I was not smart. And that came from me just mostly being lazy in school and not wanting to be there and getting bullied a lot, believe it or not. But that's all a bunch of totally different stories. But what I'm saying is that I held myself back based on these past limiting beliefs that people told me when I was younger. So you'll see some people excel in life, and it's because their belief, their subconscious paradigm is that they're brilliant, that they're smart, that they're talented, and that everybody else is jealous or whatever it is. There's other people that have been told that they're dumb, they're incapable, and they kind of crash and burn in life. But I'm here to tell you today that you are able to shift those paradigms, change your subconscious limiting beliefs, and begin to believe in yourself and excel in that way. It just takes some reprogramming. You can reprogram your mind to believe in yourself as well. It doesn't matter how old you are. So the key to doing this is just realizing that those subconscious limiting beliefs exist and realizing that they're not true and telling yourself that they're not true. So sometimes these beliefs we just feel in our body. They're our natural reaction to the world and the way that we move through life. And once you start to realize that you're having them, then you'll realize that those feelings in your body, it might feel like tension or anxiety or embarrassment or shame or anything like that. You'll realize where that's coming from, and it's a subconscious limiting belief that's not even true about you. So like I said, the key is to catch those thoughts. The Bible says to take every thought captive. That's a pretty cool way of putting it. So every time these thoughts, these limiting thoughts come into your head or into your space, you just catch them and say, that's not true, and you shift it and change it. And the reason that we in the self-help community call it reprogramming is because it's a process. It takes some time. Like it can be even very difficult at times because these things, we're so used to them. We might even chemically in our bodies be addicted to these negative feelings, these negative emotions, these negative thought patterns. And it is a reprogramming process. It's in your subconscious mind. Like I said, these are paradigms. It's become solid. It's part of who you are. But once you start to realize that they exist, catch them, take them captive, over time, you're stacking that and solidifying a new paradigm, shifting the old paradigm into a new paradigm that is belief in yourself, believing and knowing that those things that you believed about yourself before are wrong and false. It takes encouragement. You have to constantly encourage yourself. This is what they call positive affirmations. That's why they're so powerful, is because you're taking old beliefs and shifting them into new beliefs. And if you're not believing those positive affirmations, then they have absolutely no effect. You might as well just be bouncing a ball against the wall for the amount of time that you were doing those affirmations. Like, those affirmations have to be directly related to your limiting beliefs, and you have to believe in the new belief and also believe that the old belief is a lie and prove it to yourself. Every time that those limiting beliefs pop in your head, catch them, change them, shift them into the new thought or the new belief or the new feeling, one of abundance, one of greatness, one of confidence. You're taking steps towards shifting completely into a new paradigm, solidifying it, and reprogramming your subconscious mind. It sounds pretty crazy, but it's true. I've done it myself. I'm still doing it to this day. So let's say that you're going into a social situation and you say to yourself, I'm shy, I have social anxiety, or your body just tells you that and it reminds you, I was told that I have social anxiety, I believe that, I'm a shy person and all that. Stop right there. Shift it into, I'm confident. People think that I'm funny. People do think that you're funny. You know, like, find proof of it, find evidence of it. Go in there and make people laugh, have conversations, be outgoing. Might drain you at first, but take those thoughts captive and go in confidently. Let's say you're going into a public speaking situation and you say, I'm not a good speaker, or there's evidence from the past that maybe you were in college and you had to give a presentation and it failed miserably, and now you think, I'll never be a public speaker. People don't want to hear me talk. They're going to laugh. What are people going to think about me? Catch that. No, I am a good speaker. And then go out there and prove it to yourself. And that will shift the paradigm. Finding evidence that those things aren't true absolutely changes everything. Because like I said, it's a reprogramming process. And if there's no evidence that those things aren't true, are they? You understand what I'm saying? But subconscious limiting beliefs, just to give another example, like someone embarrassed you when you were younger, and this turned into this whole belief about yourself and the way that you carry yourself and the way that you talk to people. You realize that it affects everything about your life. And then you take those thoughts captive and you think, actually, those things aren't true. This is all based on this thing that happened ages ago that was dumb and didn't even matter. And I'm letting it control my life. You might not have even realized that before. So analyzing the past is hugely beneficial to this process as well. Analyzing those memories. When those limiting beliefs pop up in your head, when you feel them in your entire being, you look back and say, where does this come from? And you kind of self-analyze and realize, oh, it came from Susie telling me that my braces look dumb. You know, like you realize some of these things come from really silly things that don't even matter anymore. And that's kind of the beauty of it as well, is that once you realize that these things are lies, they're not true, and you're actually awesome, you can kind of look back and laugh at it. Now, like I said before, this reprogramming process can be very difficult. It can take a lot of time, but it can also be easy. Don't let that become a limiting belief that this is going to take a bunch of work. Just work on it a little bit every day. Shift your subconscious beliefs, shift the paradigms, realize that you're awesome. And we're going to be talking about shifting into a new identity to pursue greatness in just a minute, right after this quick ad break, so stick around. Want to level up your life as a man and unlock your masculinity? My book, Warrior King, Unlocking Masculinity, Manliness, and the Warrior Spirit Within, is a 7-level course to embracing the primal wild self and awakening the Warrior King within, covering everything from what it means to be a man, embracing masculinity, love and relationships, being a protector and provider, pursuing your purpose and success, and a whole lot more. I spent a year living in a school bus conversion in the wilderness while I wrote this book, and I believe that it is a journey of self-discovery that will change your life forever. Everything that I learned on my own journey to unlocking what it means to be a man and leveling up my life is in there. The 7 levels are the primal, the listener, the wise man, the lover, the protector, the warrior, and the king. You can find a link for Warrior King the book in the description of this podcast episode or video. Grab a copy to take the first step on your transformational journey today. Again, that's Warrior King by Michael Riggs. All right, welcome back. Now I'm going to give you 5 practices for reprogramming. Number 1 is take time every morning when you first get up to just reflect on your greatness, your talents, your achievements. Remind yourself of great things that you've done. Remind yourself of the great things that you want to do. Envision it. Envision the person that you want to become. Take time to focus on the good is basically what I'm saying, because the more that you focus on the good, the less room there is for the negative and for those subconscious limiting beliefs. So just take a little bit of time every morning, focus on the good, focus on gratitude. That's a huge one. And when those feelings pop up of embarrassment or shame or what are people going to think, or I'm not good enough, how am I going to do the work that I want to do today, just remind yourself that those things aren't true. Remind yourself that you're awesome. Do that a little bit every morning. Practice number 2, I kind of talked about before, but it's just recognizing those subconscious limiting beliefs, realizing that they exist, that they're not true, and shifting them and shifting the paradigm. You know, taking those thoughts captive, as I said before, and as the Bible says, take every thought captive when they pop in your head, when those feelings pop into your body of like, you know, just change it, shift it into a more positive thought. Remind yourself that those things aren't true, and remind yourself of what is true, which is you are awesome, you're going places, you're on your way to greatness, and nothing can stop you. Number 3 is know the truth and reinforce it constantly in everything you do. So you're awesome, right? You're reminding yourself of that. You're reminding yourself that those subconscious limiting beliefs are not true, and that these things that you want to be are true, or these things that you actually are true. So you need to be moving about in your life as if those things are true. This is a huge part of the reprogramming process and shifting into a new identity to pursue your purpose and pursue greatness and a life of confidence and abundance. Is just start living like you're that person. Start living like all of these subconscious limiting beliefs are already dead. Move through your day as a confident person. Speak to people more confidently. However you can imagine your ideal self, and the self that you say, well, once I reach this level of success, I can finally be myself. I can finally be that person. I'll finally be a rock star or whatever. Then I can act like a rock star. No, just start doing it today. And just being that person will just amplify and speed up the process of defeating these subconscious beliefs, reprogramming your subconscious mind, and leveling up your life. Number 4 is shift your identity. So I just kind of went into that a little bit, but it's here on my notes, so I'm just gonna repeat myself as I usually do. But yeah, shift your identity. Just start being that person right now. Number 5 is find proof. It's all around you. Find proof that those subconscious limiting beliefs are not true. You can find proof everywhere of that. You can find proof in your own mind. You can find proof in your own life. You can find proof all around you, bro. Like, those things are not true. You are awesome. It's just how it is. But finding that proof, if you can find proof that those things aren't true, it's just the fact that if you can see something, if you can see the evidence, if you can see the data, if you can see the proof, you just believe in it more, you know? Like, seeing is believing sometimes. So if you can see and prove to yourself that those things aren't true, say you realize that you have a subconscious limiting belief that's holding you back, prove to yourself that it's not true, and then boom, it's gone. So that's a huge tip right there as well. Find the proof that this new belief is true and that the old belief is false. So one thing that happens during this identity shift process and shifting these paradigms and subconscious limiting beliefs is your subconscious mind will try to battle against you. It will try to constantly remind you and reinforce those past beliefs. And that's because it's so used to that process. Like I said, there's a multitude of subconscious limiting beliefs, and it's all based on our own personal psychology. So I wouldn't be able to give you examples that relate to you unless I had a conversation with you and you told me your struggles in life and I was able to help you and, you know, like pinpoint them and pick them out. But whatever the thing is, that is a subconscious limiting belief. Your subconscious mind will try to remind you of that constantly. Let's say that you decide to be more confident, or you decide to pursue the thing that you want to do. Your subconscious mind will just pop up and be like, hey, but you can't do that. Remember, you're not a good speaker. Hey, remember, you're shy. Hey, remember, you're dumb, whatever it is. And you just have to constantly battle back against that and say, no, that's not true. And this goes back to taking every thought captive. It's just putting it in another way and in different words. But it is like you have to battle against it constantly, and then eventually, once those new beliefs become solidified paradigms in your mind, you won't have those beliefs anymore. But like I said, it is a process and it takes some time. When your subconscious mind and when your body, even the chemical composition of your mind and body, tries to remind you of those things, just stop right there and be like, no, those things are not true. Your subconscious mind or the old paradigms will push back from time to time and try to remind you, and you just have to kind of laugh at that thing and be like, no, that's not me. I'm freaking awesome, dude. And like I said, sometimes you will feel these things in your entire body, and it can feel like a huge weight. Sometimes it feels like anxiety. Sometimes it feels like embarrassment. You feel feelings of embarrassment. You feel feelings of shame. So I want you to begin feeling more positive things. Start feeling abundance. Start feeling gratitude. Start feeling happy. Start looking around at everything around you and being like, wow, this is crazy awesome. Like, look at the trees if that's what's around you and be like, man, this world is so abundant and cool. Look at these birds in the trees. You know, it's like, it sounds silly, but just start doing that. Start feeling abundant. Start being appreciative of what you have and where you're going. Start believing in that future, but feel those good feelings in your body, and that will start to push those negative things away. We can become addicted to the negative feelings and negative emotions and negative thought patterns, and it's because of a chemical reaction in the mind and body, in the brain and body, rather. The more that you have these positive emotions and the more you push away those negative emotions, because sometimes your brain and body and your mind will remind you're supposed to be feeling these negative things. Sometimes you'll be really up and it's like, hey, aren't you supposed to be sad? Let me remind you of this embarrassing thing that happened 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So you just have to start feeling feelings of abundance, start feeling feelings of happiness, start feeling feelings of joy and gratitude and all of these good things. You know what's positive and what's negative, right? I don't have to go through a whole list. Just start feeling those good things, especially when your subconscious mind and your brain and body try to remind you like, hey, remember this terrible thing that happened to you? Start feeling sad right now. Just be like, no, you know what? I'm going to focus on something that I'm grateful for. I'm going to focus on how happy I am. I'm going to envision a future of total awesomeness where I'm a multi-million-dollar whatever it is, you know. Start focusing on the good and only the good, and that will leave less room for the bad and wean your mind, body, and spirit off of being addicted and craving these negative thought processes, negative emotions, negative reactions in the body as part of the reprogramming process. So next episode of the Warrior King podcast, I'm going to be talking more about moving through life more confidently, shifting your identity, and just becoming the new you. So definitely subscribe, stick around so that you get that one and all of my content to follow. I have a bunch of episodes before this where I talk about a lot of the same things. Actually, I have an older episode about the same topic, reprogramming your subconscious mind and limiting beliefs. So maybe if I miss something here on this one, you'll find it in that other one. So you can go back and listen to that one as well. Thank you again so much for being here. Engage with the content, subscribe, stick around. Would love to have you as part of the community. All of that engagement, whether you like something, leave a rating on the podcast platform or wherever you're getting this, all of that engagement helps me to show these positive messages to more men all around the world. So if you want to help me reach more people, definitely engage with the content. I appreciate it so much. If you were especially inspired by this episode, there's some links down in the description of this video or podcast episode where you can give to this podcast to help us keep doing it, or there's a link where you can just buy me a coffee. That's pretty cool. I do like coffee, but in all honesty, that does help me to keep doing this podcast as well. It's just another way to give towards this mission, which is reaching men all over the world with these positive messages to empower and uplift them, to level up every aspect of their lives, be good fathers, husbands, leaders, all that kind of good stuff. So thank you so much for being here again, and I'll see you on the next one, which is going to be about confidence, living life more confidently, and shifting into the new identity of a totally awesome badass dude. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.